So good morning.
Good morning, Anton.
Good morning.
Anton, for some reason, your camera is freezing. Yes, your camera is freezing. I don't know why. For some reason, it's freezed.
Well, I'm going to leave and I'm going to come back, okay?
Okay. Hello, everyone. If you are hearing me, until Anton come back, if you go to the section where you can download the teaching material and the exercises, underneath each video, you will find a Google spreadsheet or Google form that to collect from you the name and the address. It's enough if you filled on only one form. If you like, you can fill all the forms because we will have like 8 forms. But it's enough if you can fill only one form. Yes, Anton, it's working now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just give some instruction to the students about the videos, teaching material, and the questions that they should answer underneath each video. I just informed them because we will have like 8 questions that collect the names and the email from each student. It's enough for them to answer one question only or one form only.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
this is mainly made for the people who will not attend the online session as today, to be sure that they already watched these videos.
Perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
but in order to have like an overview of the people here as well, for the people who attended the lecture, the online lecture, it's enough to fill only one form just to know the name.
Exactly. The people who are attending today classes, well, my goal is to send all the exercises, and that's all.
Yes,
Perfect.
exactly. Yes.
No,
Super.
they supposed to be that they are here, they are attending people. So for me, fantastic.
Exactly.
So it's okay. So we are on air, I assume. And so welcome to the before your break. Have a coffee or to relax. So for me, it's very exciting. It's very exciting for me that talking about this time of management, because for me, and I expect for you, they can take advantage of a lot of things. Okay. So this is welcome to the after the break, and as you know, let me show you a very short review about and take an overall, trying to resume it in different parts. We are talking about the matrix and how do you this is very important in terms. So after you make your tasks, remember you need two tasks. Tasks accomplish your goals. Goals accomplish your lifetime. Everything is connected. Everything is like a chain. One part, second part, and third part. And when you decided to do the list of the activities as Roberts or as David did it, and you need to prioritize. Okay, prioritize the different activities. It's like the example that I said before. This is like the example. I want to reinforce it. Okay. Well, I have a memory about a professor just said me, Antonio, as you repeat and repeat and re-repeat every time, and for me, you say the way you take, but you know, it's Antonio. Antonio wanted to reinforce it for his student capture the idea. But I have a memory when I was a student, And the professors explaining, sometimes I can get the idea, need to explain. So there are students that are very, very intelligent and getting the idea the first time, but others need more time. It's not for me, it's for the second group that need to read it. For you that you accomplish the idea, perfect. You can take advantage. But this is for me, it's very important for the people who can get the idea very, very, very can capture the idea, because it's not very forget it. Okay, it's something that, oh wow. When you finish, you say, oh my God, I finished. I have no idea, but you reinforce the idea is very, very important for students to read it. So look at this. This is fantastic. Okay. Look at this. This is we took in importance. In terms of importance, the first what you have to do here is to give points. 5 points, 2 points, some 3 points, depending on the task. You classify these ideas in different parts. 5 points, then 3 points, and then 2 points. For you, all of them are important. But as I said before, you are not Superman. You are not superwoman, and you have not enough time to accomplish it. That's the point. The time is resources. It's like companies. Companies have resources on financial. They are limited. So your time is limited. Believe it or not, your time is limited. I don't know if you agree with me. Do you agree with me or not? But your time is limited. And you need to know what is my preference. Sometimes you need to focus on one task better than others. Trying to get advantage. So in this case, for instance, we said that preparing a good diet, including too many calories, is very, very important as well. Or maybe perhaps we can put 5 points here. It's a criterion, my criterion. Preparing a good diet is what I need to focus, because if I put buying vegetables in the first one, however, I not prepare it to a diet, it's the same. Sometimes it's, I don't know, you see as I see my way when I buy fresh vegetable. I buy a lot of fresh vegetable. I put on the fridge, and then decided in the night I'm going to have a supper. And you say, well, I'm going to make some vegetable, perhaps a salad, because wow, I'm very tired. Even though I bought these fresh vegetable and they are in the fridge, I never, sometimes, because sometimes I'm tired, I say, well, I'm going to make a sandwich or something like that very quick, okay? With whole wheat salad, but it's not preparing. It's not, even though the buying fresh vegetables, they are perhaps you say 5. If not prepare a good diet, it's not the same. If the vegetable are on the fridge but it's not well prepared, we are not a point. We have not a point. Okay, so to keep in mind these important issues. And then the other side, you see it Eugen, okay, depends on the, and we have these 4 categories here. 4 categories depends. So you need to put on, depends on urgent and importance. And you said different, the first, the second, with this different strategy, urgent and importance, and not urgent and important, and urgent and important. So let's start today. Let's start after our breakfast, our our break. So let's start to see. I'm going to. I don't know if I'm sharing I'm going to share my screen.
Yes, we can see it. Yeah, but you are now, we can't hear you anymore. Anton, we can't hear you. Yes, there is a problem with. I think you are muted, so we can't hear. Anton, are you still here? Yes.
I'm here.
Yes, okay.
Now I want to share my screen.
Yep.
Perfect. Click on here to share. Can you see my screen now?
Exactly. We can see and hear as well. So both are okay.
Okay. And can you see my slides very well?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Thank you very much. What I'm telling you, this is the four parts for important critical activities, distractions, or interruptions. So I think it's clear. So in terms of the third exercise here, you see my exercises for students. That's here. So this is we explain the first one exercise for today. We explain the second one. And then we need to focus on the third exercises. And this exercises said something which activities are important and urgent goals. So you need to take into account the second exercises about time list, and then need to define, depends on the different exercises, which are the first and which are the second. Okay. Well, let me know a minute. I need to move my mobile phone. Sorry. Well, as I said before, you need to know exactly which activities are important, which activities are urgent, and then you need to classify it. In terms of important, very, 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 very important, very crucial. You say what is 5, what is 4, what is 3, what is 2, and what is 1. Okay, 5, 2, 1, 3, 1. This is a way to scale it. Use a LinkedIn scale between 5 and 2. You can see very well, very important, neutral, negative, very negative is the same. But use a scale from 5 to 1, perfect, in terms of urgent. And then you need to put, depends on the quadrants, bend one in one side, one another, depends of how we'll explain here. What is urgent depends on this lookup for these quadrants, and then you need to do. And the second question is it shows how do you manage through strategies, urgent and important issues. So let me show you this exercises has to do with strategies that you use in terms of handling these quadrants, or this what is involved urgent and important activities. When you just defined where they are, say there are interruptions, or they are very critical activities, or they are important goals, wherever it is, you need to tell me at least 2 strategies. How you handle interruptions. I showed you in this today, I showed you some strategies to handle interruptions. But anyways, how do you did that? How do you tend to do that? So let me know some strategies. Huh? For instance, I said you when someone is not very, very important, it's not very urgent, but you need to relax and say, now it's not very important. It's not what you're saying. It's not very important. Also, it's not also very urgent. So we don't need to attend it in my office right now. I suggest you to tackle this issue in 2 weeks in a meeting that we state we are going to be the manager, me, myself, and the supervisors. And when it comes, when it occurs, it would be good to state your approach, your statement in order to tackle it. So basically, this is will be one strategy to make your boundaries. Students say, well, I'm going to copy Antonio. Well, be a little bit higher, be a little more perfection. Try to be more perfection myself, and try to see there are other ways to tackle these strategies, okay? And how do you make your boundaries? In that case, what would you do? in that. So explain yourself to the flow strategies when you just define how to manage it. So I think it's really clear in terms of what involves important, what involves urgent. Try to classify the different activities on 21st, 22nd of November. So today is with 22nd of November, and depending on the activities that you wanted to carry out, perhaps it's an objective to pass your grade, to pass this subject, to focus on a goal, important parent goal, family, or it's important to find a job, to hire a job, and you start it on 21st, and you have a deadline. So every activity need to carry out in a very near quadrants, and put in order depends on the importance and depends on the urgencies. And every time tomorrow we will read it, you need to read it, you need to know where it is, and you need to start doing these activities to accomplish the goal of the important goal. So everything is linked, everything is on a chain, and everything need to be consistent. So this is the third exercises to do today. But before starting the email, talking about some exercises of the email, let me show you some exercise for today. Well, I do it by myself or trying to explain it, but I put an example. If someone wanted to participate, so it's up to you. So here is I have different questions. This is an exercise, sitting at exam in 2 weeks, answering a questionnaire of some research. It may ask you, you have time to review some questions. A professor has decided to carry out a review class before the exam. A training workshop about something that is not related to. A practical assignment related to a presentation, which will be held in 2 weeks. So you have your academic life. You have different tasks, perhaps that you need to face. Sitting an exam, perhaps you are not. You don't need to be afraid into exam, sitting an exams in 2 weeks. So you think that is important, is urgent. So the first idea is to classify it. I'm going to show you an example, 1 or 2 questions, no more, because we ran out of time. We need to explain it, to understand it. I want to give you my explanation. Sitting an exam in 2 weeks, perhaps is, will you say, is urgent or is very important? If someone wanted to participate, first I'm going to click on here, for instance, sitting an exam in 2 weeks. Perhaps I'm going to do that right now, and I put here. This is in the chat. I'm going to send. Okay, perfect. What you see is more related to sitting an exam in 2 weeks, or what would you say? Perhaps is about urgent. We talk about urgent and talking about importance. Okay, if I come back in this exercises, well, I might say that sitting an exam in 2 weeks is very important. It's very important. Perhaps it's an exam that is. So the idea is perhaps is more related to this here. Depends on the grade. Sometimes your task is here, but in a quadrant, in this quadrant, you can use it. This matrix, in this square. In this square, you can put the important goals more related to high and more related to be here. So depends on the grade. BR is higher rather than you put in this square on the second topic, on the second line here. So, it's very high. That's very well. So it would be important goal, critical activities. So if you said, if we are telling you that is 21st or 22nd of November, and the exams will carry out on the 15th of December, perhaps today is not as urgent as we thought. So it could be something like here, important goal today. However, if we make it this matrix on the 14th of December, perhaps is an important activity, but it's a critical activity because I I have only one day, just one day, to study all the contents and study all the practical exercises. So you cannot understand sitting an exam. It will be very, very, very important, very important, and depends on the urgency. If I do it, it could be tough. So it could be more important goal. When you just clarify important goals, you need to define strategies to clarify important goals. And important goals are something that is very is here, is urgent, something that is not urgent, or depends on important goal. Where we talk about important goals is here, okay, urgent and important is here. And well, the strategy is to have time, some time. Urgent are important if critical activities is here. However, it's not the case, something that is not very urgent, unimportant are important goals. Maybe you need to take into account plenty of time to not become very urgent. You need to take into account this strategy. There's a strategy to say, well, I'm going to, now it's not urgent. What I'm going to do? Well, I'm going every day, I'm going to study one lesson. So this is one of the strategies to do not important. Study, for instance, one lesson every day, or make an exercise, doing an exercise every day of the topic 1, the unit 1 from the unit 5 to carry out to handle, to manage not urgent but important activities. So it's very, very, very important to know where you are and how you handle it in order to not go on critical activities. So for me, it's very important goals. You need to be in this square, not to move to on the critical activities. Critical goals are very, very dangerous. Okay, very dangerous because it's very important and you don't have time enough to carry out these critical activities. Fantastic, fantastic, very, very nice, very nice, very nice. And then we move on the final exercise of today. So we studied so I put, this is an exercise, it's about the exercise 3, okay. And here I think so in the exercise 3, this exercise is of urgent and important matrix. And this is the same. This is a third exercise, I forgot it, to answer the same exercise. Classify those activities related to the important urgent matrix. So you need to do it. Now I did it, this example, the first one, and you need to do the rest of them. Okay? By doing so, that's when you just done it, you can send to me. Well, so we saw exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 4, and exercise 5, the final exercise for today, they say identify 3 strategies related to how to deal your email and enables you improving the use of time. So this is the final part, last but not least. This is our final part, our final exercises about it. I only show you 3 strategies. So we wanted to do a lot of strategies about it, about how to deal with your email. An email is like this. Sometimes email are feel you very, you need to manage with email. That's for sure that you are getting used to manage your email. Sometimes is overwhelmed. Feel you overwhelmed about email, sometimes not, depends, but that's for sure that people has the humankind has decided to communicate by email rather than voice, than face-to-face. So keep in mind it, because sometimes it's strange when you are working in the department and the people decided to email you rather than go to your office and talk about it. Well, the idea is we feel to some extent overwhelmed. I don't know if this is real for you or you agree with me with a lot of emails. And the question here is ways to manage your email. So there are a lot of ways. I think to focus for me what are really important in terms of my view, from my perspective, which is very, I think the way you can be more productive is the way. So I show you some examples in order to be more productive. And the reality is that we are not multitasking. So we need to take in to take in account that we are not multitasking. I don't know why people, there are different sort of people that they are very stick on email. So it's like they need to be completed, they need to complete all the tasks. So this is not the way. The way the people react is this: when you are very stick to your email, stick to respond every mail or something like that. It's like it's about your mind, how the mind works, and the mind works like the. So if I did an action, if I did respond, I give when I finish a task, I receive serotonin, and maybe perhaps you are very close to the serotonin that your mind gives you in very teeny proportions, and you need it. When you finish an action, you say, "Oh, fantastic," and your mind says, "Oh, please give me a portion of serotonin. Good for you." It's like the horse, and you give it a piece of sugar. So it's the same. Our mind does the same. Our son give us a portion of sugar through the serotonin. That this is a normal. This is the hormone of happiness. So, but keep in mind, it's because we are not our mind. Mind for me is like a robot. It's a computer. We need to take advantage of our computers, but never we can identify ourselves with our mind. The way we think, we are not ourselves. We are different. Okay? Think, keep in mind it, but some people misunderstand this theory. So if we define it in terms of multitaskers, that we are not multitaskers, but sometimes the age of internets showed you the need to be multitasking in this way. But multitasking is the opposite. Is the opposite. Language of productivity. Even though you think that multitasking might get productivity, is the opposite. Reality so that multitasking decrease your productivity. And what is your first strategy for email for today? Well, I will start. Well, people, boundary your time, boundary your set points. Boundary is really important. When you check it out, check your email. It's time. Make boundaries, define boundaries. And you say when you define boundaries, you need to define boundaries, you need to fix time to check your email. Forget it about to check it out every time, every day, every hour. It's not good for in terms of time management. You need to define in the morning or at the end of the day or before lunch. So you give you 5-10 minutes to go inside to check your inbox folder and then what you have and what you decide. So this is my piece of advice: to check your email. Boundaries time, or in the morning or in the day. My idea in terms of in the morning, when you are full of energy, no, I don't recommend people going to your email. Email is when you are lack of energy. You need to relax. You need to have very lack of energy, and you need to go to your email. But when it comes to very important tasks, I don't recommend searching. I don't know to checking the email. This is my recommendations. I prefer to focus on other tasks rather than checking your email, because sometimes email is not as productive as we think. Second strategy, fantastic. You can also reserve time to read and respond to email after long periods of focused work. This is what I said you before. So after this means that in terms when your energy and creativity and are very, you need to have time when you are very lack of energy. It's good to start by starting response the proper emails. The same, when you are lack of energy, email is perfect. However, when you are full of energy, it's important to get advantage of the energy with other socials, perhaps making calls, perhaps starting a very focused topic, very difficult material, or whatever it is. And then email for when you are lack of energy, it's time to use that. So two things we have learned today. First, put a boundaries about checking out our mail. The second strategy is when I need to use my email. Very high energy, note is not allowed to use internet. When I focus on lack of energy, I need to use the email. Third strategy is when you people, sometimes it's very important when there are people who say, oh, Antonio, well, I see the point, but my client, my boss said that I need to respond to the client. I need to respond emails. Or what happened with my friends? But my friends complain me about me because I didn't respond their emails. So you see, well, in terms of the second approach, I would say that you need to learn to say no. This is my perspective. But in terms of the first one, when it's not impossible to say to my boss something that, well, I'm going to say no, well, which is very important to advise, to inform our colleagues, to inform our mates, to inform our boss that I'm really occupied. I'm really focused on one task and I need time. And when I need time, when I liberate for my task, when I have more freedom time, I will respond to you. Okay. So but I focus on a task and it's impossible to task. And here I put an example about a response. There is in terms of University of Alicante, in the official University of Alicante, you can't put this, you can copy it in response, you can copy it, and you can't copy it, and when you can't use it. But this is, they have the option when you are off work, and you can use it. I showed you, I realized that some of you use this word when you are very focused and you are traveling and you are set on whatever it is, you can put and this expression, these words, this paragraph, this advice telling you that something to it to a high work like I'm currently checking and responding to email twice. If you require your assistant, please phone me or whatever it is. Why I'm telling that it's not supposed that the people know it well. When you do it, you tranquil, show you that you are dependent on the clients, you are dependent on your boss, you are dependent on the mates, you are dependent on the colleagues or whatever. So to some extent, what you are doing now is in terms of third strategy, is explain why you don't respond the emails as quickly as possible. However, when you do it, the people feels tranquility. People can, okay, she or he must be very overwhelmed. He must be workload, focus on workload, and I'll give you a response later or by email or whatever it is. So very important when you are overloaded to work, you have a very peak of work and you need to define it to the people that you respond as quickly as possible. The fourth strategy is related to 2 minutes rule. Fantastic strategy. Fantastic. And this I'm going to explain very quickly. So the idea of 2 minutes rule in terms of email, if my email, it takes me 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, I'm going to respond. If my email takes me less than 2 minutes, I'm going to reply. However, if my email takes me more than 2 minutes, I'm going to put in the box and then I will respond later. That's the idea in terms of 2 minutes rule. First, it might, in this case, you touch this 2 minutes rules, so in email. However, here is a workflow to explain it and use it to explain it. So this email, I make it bigger. So if my email is like a workflow, do I need to do something? Yes. Does it take longer than 2 minutes? Proceed to process it. I'm going to proceed. I'm going to proceed. I'm going to continue. I'm going to reply. However, if it takes longer than 2 minutes, I'm not going to reply immediately. What I'm going to do is to achieve my message, okay? To keep my message. Here is the respondent, achieve it, and move on the next email, okay? So if not, I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to go to the next email. Another strategy is what about spam? You already receive email, letters, blogs, article feeds. Well, we know that sometimes your email have artificial intelligence, has to declare, has to know when someone is spam or not. Sometimes it is fail. Sometimes if you receive, you send it. So it would be good from time to time to check your spam folder, because sometimes, even though sure you are talking about artificial intelligence, supposed to be artificial intelligence is very good, however sometimes it's fail. So take it out in order to from time to time to check it out your spam folder. Well, however, we are not talking about spam folder. Indeed, we are talking about blogs or article feeds or wherever it is. So, so the activities is not essential emails, or they are not instead delivery to a particular folder. It's not necessary to a particular. Forget it. You could reroute it to another email address or use rules, or they are delivered to a particular folder or whatever it is. But it's not very, you need to take about when it comes to non-essential emails for you, okay? So it's not necessary to reply, is what I'm telling you. Finally, we said, well, the set 6 strategy, you could broad categories, actions, waiting, to archive different folders, names of folders to put to archive, to keep these contents in different folders. Depends on the importance. Maybe perhaps we might focus on it to classify the folders in colors. For instance, color very red is very, very important, very, very important. And also, well, yellow perhaps is not as important, or green, depends on the color, depends on the importance, depends on the urgent as well. So if something is very urgent, perhaps red is good. Something that is very, very, very important, we can put on red. Well, I'm talking about me, depends on the color. So something are really important and very urgent, well, I can classify it on red. However, the other folder is not as important as urgent. Maybe perhaps it's yellow, and well, sometimes it's green. Green is showing me that it's not very important or whatever. So university depend on the concept, depends on the colors. Some people are very stick to the visualize. People are really here, and people are feeling synesthetic. So depends on you. You use more colors or letters or words or whatever it is. I'm very synesthetic, and I use colors for visual and use more colors because I myself I am like this. And well, there are other strategies that I will recommend about this final model of research. So other strategies to cope email. Well, sometimes I use voice access. I think it's very suitable for me. This is another was a way to a speech while you are speaking. the artificial intelligence copied it. It's here, for instance. I don't know if you use it, but for me, it's very, very important in terms of here. You see this is in Spanish, but this is, well, here by clicking on here, as you can see, my voice is recorded by this artificial intelligence. So what do you see? What I said by clicking on here, as you can see, my voice is recorded by this artificial intelligence. So I speak on this test, I speak on this text, and this allows me to talk, to copy my voice. So I give you this recommendation in terms of the email. So it's very easy when it comes to responding an email to read on this artificial intelligence robot, and the robot can transform your voice in text. So it's very, for me, it's very useful to use it when it comes to speaking, to responding different emails. That for me is more to stick to your laptop. For me, sometimes it's really, really difficult. Involves or look at if what the letter or the other letter. So sometimes it's complicated. Okay, it's better to speak. The more rapid you speak, the more letters can speak this robot. And also my final recommendations for in terms of email is to copy to responses. Copy to responses are really useful when it comes to be off because you are traveling, or you need to respond something that is the same. Do you know, as the University of Alicante email, you have a response to copy your answers, and you can copy it. Thank you very much for sending it. My best regards. So in order to copy it every time is better. In order to use my time, copy it, click on the copy response and put it. Because sometimes what you need to do is a commitment. Is you agree with some extent, and you need to be polite, and you say thank you very much for your past responding. When your professor speak to you or send an email or something like that, and you're going to be kind with that person, warm with that person, and you need to send an email by giving thank yous, by thinking about, by giving the appreciated about the gesture or whatever response it is. So before giving to the exercise 3, so this is the final exercises I need for the module 3 for today. We will finish today by explaining these exercise that Tamer uploaded on the virtual camp and the UA club. So the last exercises is identify 3 strategies related to how to deal with your email and enables you improving the user's time. So I use these strategies. However, I will be really impressed if you tell me other sort of strategies that you use in your time and your email and telling you. This is very important that you, in terms of email, you need to prioritize the short of emails that you are responses. You need to prioritize the time when you respond email. You need to prioritize the people. You need to respond what are the people. So my suggestion is to make different folders with these colors and put the email as well. Sometimes it's very important to label your email. Sometimes when you need to respond an email, you need to label with red, for instance, is what I tend to do. with rep in order to know this is email is really important, is very urgent, is very important. So I need to take caution with it in order to respond it. Because remember, we are in the age of internet, and we are not aware why we receive plenty of emails every day, and we need to take aware that our time is limited. So this is for the class for today. So I'm going to make the exercises, explain it, different exercises. So the exercises, Joe, as you can see, is exercise 1, exercise 2, exercise 3, and exercise 4. So when you did it, you can send me by email to my address, and we correct your exercises, and I put in contact with Tamer or whatever it is, with Tamer, and I send you what you did it. So fantastic, because when you did it, the exercises, you can get the certification. Any questions? So I'm going to come back. I'm going to okay, this is my question so far, and I think it's more important than urgent. While doing the exam, you are putting at risk your qualifications, but the fair date gives me that enough for preparing and make it less urgent than it would be in other circumstances. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Juan Jesus. I think it's more important than urgent. Yeah, fantastic, Juan Jesus. Very, very, very well. Very, very well. I think I see the points on Juan Jesus. The idea when I was speaking, while I was speaking, I can see your chat. So Juan Jesus said, I think it's more important than you did. Very well, and more important than urgent. That's for sure. Sitting and something to it, you have that's the point. Is more important because you need to study, you need to focus on it, and urgent because you have plenty of time, 2 weeks to study. And while doing the exam, you are putting at risk your qualifications, but the fact that it gives time enough for preparing and makes it less urgent than it will be in other circumstances. So I agree. Thank you very much, Juan Jesus. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, questions so far. Students, do you understand very well the time, how you did a lot of exercises, but fantastic exercises for today. Very, very, very important, very knowledgeable to know about it. So until now, we are not aware of our time. And when we decided to take care about my time, but my time is not really limited. Oh, fantastic. So if no questions, so it's time to close our second session of the webinar of the time management. So see you tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow we will start at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So we will start on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock, 4 to 4 o'clock. Okay. This is today's an exception about on Tuesday, but remember, Wednesday and Thursdays we will continue to 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Yep.
So thank you very much, and see you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot, Anton.
Okay. Bye bye.
Again, I will upload the video in just give me 2 hours or so. I will send an email to you with the link to the video, which will be the same like yesterday, and with the Zoom link for tomorrow, which is again the same of today, but just to remind you.
Okay, super, super, Tamer, excellent. So fantastic. Thank you very much for everybody, and see you tomorrow.
Thanks
Bye
a lot, Anton. Bye bye. Bye.